I know that looking at spring training numbers and making assumptions off of them could make me look like a fool in the future, but it's hard not to when you see the production we are getting from some of the youthful players we have. What's going on, guys? The King of 161st Street. I'm back in another video, and I'd understand your point if you were talking about any other system in baseball, but the Yankee system was ranked 28th in baseball amongst every farm system, and what I'm seeing in spring training is a lot of overlooked potential. Before we get into the video, like the video down below, subscribe if you're new. Let's get right into it. Firstly, I want to talk about Jason Dominguez. He's going to be a major part of the major league team in 2025, and although his first few starts in left field looked a bit shaky, he has started to get his groove in left field. He's starting to make the plays that he was not making before, and that's exactly what you want to see out of a guy like Jason Dominguez, making adjustments going into the season. But it's not just the fielding that I'm looking at with Jason. Like I brought up in my leadoff hitters video, Jason Dominguez has an incredible approach at the plate, and he's been able to display that big time. He's shown off the power, but not just the power. He's shown off an incredible speed, as on an infield single, he reached 30.4 feet per second. To put that into perspective, Bobby Witt Jr.'s highest speed last year was 30.5, and that's what Chandler Simpson averages when he runs down to first. Now that is fucking ridiculous by Chandler Simpson. He's going to be an incredible watch for the Tampa Bay Rays. With Jason Dominguez having that stocky of a build and still having the athletic ability to reach 30.4 feet per second, that's the type of speed that I think would produce big time and center field. The Yankees seem to think differently, so I will digress from that. But I'm liking what I'm seeing lately out of Jason Dominguez. And another guy we've talked about a bunch is Will Warren. Will Warren has looked awesome so far in spring training. Another unheralded guy, still one of our top 30 prospects, but no one ever pinned him as like a top of the line starter in our farm system. But right now in spring training, he is showing that if he can keep this up, his stuff can produce at the next level. Last year was tough for a lot of guys, specifically him. If he can get that breaking ball to be tighter and not be so loose with how much break it gets, because he has amazing break on those pitches. He just needs to control it and not let it leak out over the plate. And then that changeup against left-handed hitters, that's an X factor for him to get strikeouts at the next level. If these things are real, he could be a legitimate option for the number 5 starter until Luis Seal gets back. But until he proves it, he's still a wait and see. But now that we got some of the major league guys out of the way, I really want to talk about some of these guys that are going to start next season in the minor league. And there's one guy who's been the talk of the town all spring training long. He is only 19 years old, and people are still talking about him possibly coming up this season. Although that would never happen in a million years in the Yankees organization, people still want it to happen. His name is George Lombard Jr., the Yankees' first round pick from 2023. Look, last year, he shocked us all. He was playing really well at the major league spring training. He didn't produce to the level that you would want numbers-wise down in high A ball. The expected numbers and the baseball savant page is off the fucking chart. And now he has made adjustments to his swing. Now, after seeing the adjustments this year and watching him so far this spring, I now understand why we passed up on Carlos Correa this offseason. I now know why the Yankees did not invest money into a third baseman. This kid is the future of Yankees baseball. His swing is compact. His swing gets through the zone quickly. He's got power. He's got speed. Oh yeah, he can play anywhere in the infield. He's played second base. He's played short. And now he's starting to play third. This is the reason the Yankees are moving Jazz back to second base. They are not investing major money into guys like Alex Bregman, into other guys like Carlos Correa to move over. George Lombard is going to be a stud. And yes, he is only 19. Usually the Yankees like to wait a bit before they bring a guy up. But if George Lombard has a great year in high A and double A, there is no doubt in my mind the Yankees are going to consider bumping Lombard up to the major league team in 2026. This kid is legit. And this is where I might get in trouble because I'm using a lot of spring training data to prove this point. But what he has shown has given me a lot of confidence. His swing is eerily similar to Carlos Correa. This is another guy the Yankees have always wanted to get a hold of. This is a guy that Yankees fans want to get a hold of unless he's cheating with Houston. So far this spring, putting up a 333 average with a 1455 OPS in 15 plate appearances. Yes, it's a very short sample size, and a lot of players can give you that type of production in a short sample size. But it's not just the number. It's the way he looks. It's the way the Yankees talk about him. There was a story where he was training with the major league guys, and the major league guys went back to the organization and said, this kid is basically a major leaguer today. If someone came off the street and didn't know who was on the major league team, based it off of how they were practicing, they'd assume George Lombard Jr. was on the major league team today. And that's as a 19-year-old 2 years removed from high school. Sometimes these guys have something about them. It's not impossible in the Yankees organization for someone to be pushed up at a young age. It happened with Melky Cabrera. It can happen here. Sometimes these guys just have it. George Lombard Jr. has it. There's a reason he was drafted in the first round as an 18-year-old. Usually the high school guys get pushed to the later round. Anthony Volpe had super high potential, and he's shown it with the glove, and he's had flashes with the bat. George Lombard might be better. This kid is a stud, and you would do yourself a favor keeping up with him before he makes it to the major league, because he's coming, and once he makes it here, it'll be like a tidal wave. Anyways, enough about the phenom George Lombard. Let's get to the Yankees' actual number 2 prospect in the organization, and that is Spencer Jones. So far in spring, Spencer Jones has been able to put up really good numbers. A 1,500 OPS and a 429 batting average so far in 15 plate appearances. Spencer Jones, to me, has always been wishy-washy. I don't know what to think about Spencer, and here's why. A lot of people, when he came into the organization, drafted out of Vanderbilt, they compared him directly to Aaron Judge. And a lot of that had to do with stature. He's 6'7", a massive human being. And he plays right field with pretty good defense, and he has massive power. A lot of people were calling him the left-handed Aaron Judge. And to me, it seemed a little bit disrespectful because Spencer Jones strikes out way too much. And you could see it in his swing. Even when he hits a home run, the swing is slow. The swing is methodical. It gets through the zone at a rate of speed that probably wouldn't translate at the next level, but he is producing at a very high level. So I do not know what to think about Spencer Jones. I like that he's ranked number 2 in the organization. That means scouts smarter than me see the vision here. They see what he's about, and they believe in him a lot more than me. So maybe I should be believing them more, but I just can't help myself because I see it with my own eyes. It's his swing. It's loopy. It's slow. It reminds me of a smoother version of Joey Gallo's swing. But either way, he has been very impressive this spring, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if he makes it to the major league level. Maybe they give him the shot at DH over Dom Smith. I doubt it, but it's a definite option on the table because at about 22, 23 years old, at some point you got to make a move with Spencer. Either you deal him or you play him. The Yankees are kind of on the clock when it comes to Spencer Jones, but so far, so good for the 23-year-old Yankees prospect. But we're not just getting production out of ranked prospects. We're even getting production out of guys who are nowhere near the top 30, like shortstop Alexander Vargas, the 23-year-old Cuban prospect right now in spring training. 7 at-bats with a 714 average, 2.321 OPS. This guy's got a smooth swing, and I know a lot of people do not know a lot about him. I don't know a lot about him either. Putting up numbers like that against real major league pitching, it sort of makes you open your eye. I'll be keeping an eye on Alexander Vargas for the rest of the season, and we'll see where he goes from here on out. But he's definitely opened some eyes and proven that the Yankees farm system is not as bad as people make it seem. He's a major talent. We've got other major talent that didn't even play in this spring training. Brennan Davis, I keep bringing up. He's still down in the minor. Roderick Arias, he's a great talent. He will be up at some point. We even got a kid who was born in 2010, Manny Cedeno, a guy who doesn't even know how to drive. His call-up date projected for 2030, and he's top 15 in the Yankees organization. This organization has a lot of potential. Again, it's very untapped, but a lot of potential in this organization. And especially for a guy like Alexander Vargas, there's no one more blocked than Alexander Vargas. Maybe he becomes a major trade piece. Maybe he helps us get a veteran to help us for this year at third base before Lombard comes up next year. Who knows? But either way, these kids are proving that they belong and are showing out in front of our very eyes. Hopefully you're watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. Let's get to 1,000 subs by All-Star break. That would be some ridiculous activity, but I think we can do it. Share it with everyone you know. Subscribe, put your post notifications on, do everything you have to. Comment below, is there a prospect that I missed here that you think is impressive so far? If you do, let me know. I'm out of here. Take care and peace.